I'm coming! Ouch! Ah. Wow, you have incredible timing. Or was it I who have incredible timing? Are we about to start reading each other's minds again? Oh, what's that? You want me to get on with the damn review? Well, all right. So in case your feeble mind has already forgotten, we were just discussing why Mama has been so ridiculously aggressive towards the judges. It turns out her clan is the sole manufacturer and distributor of all the slow-mo in Mega City 1, with the population of 800 million, remember? And it's being cooked right here in Peachtrees. Whoa! Heavy, dude. Mr. Dredd, what are your thoughts on this new revelation?
Interesting.
Man, his enthusiasm is infectious. Although it's safe to assume this entire movie takes place within a 24-hour window, it's always hazy how much time has passed from one scene to the next. So, sometime later, a couple judges casually walk up to Peachtrees, responding to Dredd's distress call for backup. Dom, the comms tech, is still under duress and convinces them that this is all part of a scheduled war defense test, and that the fire on level 76 made them lose control of the blast doors, so he's unable to let him in. For some reason, the judges are cool with it all and just tell him to hurry up and fix it. Bro, you got a distress call from one of your teammates. Is it really this nonchalant? You would think at least a helicopter from the fire department would be requested and war defense tests be canceled, or that the judges would at least double check with direct control that the random person in the intercom is telling the truth, right? Wrong! None of these things happen. Now that backup will supposedly be making their way in soon, Dredd decides to take the offense, even though they're terribly outnumbered. It's lunacy, but he sees it as Mama's guilty and we're judges, so let's do our job. So back in they go. And then, some little kids, of all people, sneak up on our heroes and catch them off guard. But they're too afraid to shoot, so they stall. As the judges focus on the kids, Kay maneuvers out of his restraints and jumps Anderson from behind. It kind of upsets me that the telepath couldn't sense this coming. This shouldn't be able to happen. She's read Kay's thoughts 3 times now. She's gotta be familiar with how he thinks. How is her guard totally down for the entire time he's wiggling out of his restraints? I can forgive the issue because maybe she was just really fatigued after hours of intense mental focus or something. But that should have been enacted in a quick scene or line of dialogue at least, assuming this even was the reason. While Dredd is busy stunning the kids, Kay holds Anderson hostage and retreats into an elevator, escaping to level 200. Why doesn't Kay just kill her right here? The hostage situation made sense while Dredd was a factor, but now it's just Mama's orders standing. She wants the judges dead. They're not bargaining tokens. Every second she's still alive provides more opportunity for her to be a pain in their asses later. Foreshadowing! Foreshadowing! Kay gets to the top floor where dozens of clan members await. They begin drooling over the rookie immediately, but Mama orders all her thugs to not do what they make it clear everybody wants to do. She decides the only way out of this disaster is to make it look like a couple judges just got shot up in a drug bust gone bad. So torturing, skinning, or any kind of abuse would be too incriminating. The plan is to fill them with bullets and dump their bodies on a couple levels there isn't any heat on. This is so dumb. You can't play off this much damage. The sheer amount of dead thugs alone proves this is a hive of activity. And a gang that's notorious for violence wouldn't give a damn if the judges' corpses were abused or not. This plot is thinner than tracing paper. This dude's hair! What? Anyways, Karl Urban continues decimating the pathetic clan members, and those that remain begin to worry. He's only 10 levels below them now. So a new plan emerges. The dumbest line of the movie is uttered.
We're gonna stop this guy.
Call 911.
And then Mama calls in a foursome of dirty judges, so Dredd will think his backup has arrived. Watch this ridiculous interaction. Remember, these two judges are the normal ones and have already responded to the distress call from who knows how long ago. They've been waiting for the blast door's software to be restored. The batch of dirty judges approaches Peachtree's in lockstep, walk right up to the intercom, and order the door to be opened. Without any hesitation, it opens, and all the crooked ones enter, leaving the normal ones just standing there like a couple morons. The leader of the dirty judges relieves them while he's walking in, so the two completely disengage, I guess. Nobody has a freaking iota of curiosity in the entire Hall of Justice. It doesn't take a detective to notice some weird shit's going on in this dump. This is like the third time now where it's just too easy. It's like the writers just gave up. The foursome meet up with Mama face to face to discuss Dredd's bounty, agreeing on 1 million credits. And then they disperse. As Dredd is making his way up the floors, he encounters the first dirty judge, who attempts to console him by claiming that backups arrived. He forgets to mention the rookie though, and Dredd calls him out on it. There's an oh snap moment and they both realize a brawl's about to go down. For some stupid reason, the bad judge feels the impulse to radio his squad for backup above all else. How untactical was that? That moment was a time to swing, shoot, or take cover, not radio your squad. You know, an incoming fist, and you're like, oh, help! He should have radioed here upon confirming Dredd's identity. That would have gotten his squad there as fast as possible, all while not looking suspicious. I want to buy it. Just make it believable, for hell's sake.
Choke on it, Dredd. Choke on that.
Wow, good one. Two of the dirty judges responding to the call arrive seconds later, but Dredd's already vanished from the scene, and the first guy is left still standing with a broken throat. We catch up with Anderson and Kay. The movie's kind of made her a side plot now. It appears he's about to blast her brains out, with the gun. But he obviously doesn't know what happens when the wrong palm print tries to fire a judge's pistol. It blows the trespasser's friggin' hand off. They talk to each other like a couple 2-year-olds would. He pulls the trigger and splat. Hey, are those your fingers on the wall there, bud? The monitors reveal Anderson's escape, so the bad girl judge goes after the good girl judge. Ooh, who to root for? I do like me a bad apple from time to time. Now that Dredd knows the backup is trying to assassinate him, he's sort of back to square one. Two of the judges are right behind him. He gets cornered in the slow-mo factory with almost no ammo. He's able to peg one of them in the head with a high-X round, but the second guy sees Dredd's shadow from around the corner and shoots him through the wall. Call of Duty style. Or regular lifestyle. Oh, that's why Call of Duty. We jump back to Anderson, and her priority now is to reconvene with Dredd. It's unclear how she knows his location though. Is she tracking his brainwaves? Does she have a type of psycho sonar? Or is this just bad writing? As she moves toward reconvening, the bad girl judge intercepts her. She tells her to lower her gun as she's their backup, but Anderson reads her intentions and obliterates her on the spot. Now that was believable. That's how you use telepathy, baby. In a combat situation, I mean. So the last crooked judge takes his time waltzing up to the nearly deaded Dredd. As he points the pistol at his head, Dredd's like, wait. And he's like, for what? And right then the rookie douses him with bullets, saving Dredd at the last second. So they have a little time to regroup and he patches himself up. And the hunt for Mama continues. Finally arriving at the 200th floor, they find Dom, terrified. The only way into the sealed room that Mama is hiding in is through a door requiring a passkey, which he knows, and is willing to divulge to the judges. Anderson can tell that Dom is a tortured soul being held under duress by the clan, so she extracts the codes from his mind and releases him. Dredd didn't seem too happy about that at first, but she explains. and he's so impressed he starts to kinda like her. He better. She saved his life, man. There's a million thugs up here on the top floor protecting the queen bee, but the two judges are now working as a single cohesive unit, annihilating everyone in their path. As you'd imagine it should be if you had a telepathic partner. The amount of times they underplay that, Alas, they stand in front of Mama, the final boss! But oh no! She has a heartbeat transmitter on her wrist, and if it detects her death, a bunch of Mondo explosives on the 200th floor will go off, decimating the top 50 levels, according to her, which will in turn implode the rest of the building, according to her. Whatever will Dredd do? He shoots her. I know, kind of anticlimactic. Not to kill her though, rather to shock her. He then makes a wager that the range of her transmitter is probably far less than a kilometer, which is about the height of the structure. So throwing her off the balcony would definitely kill her outside the remote's range, preventing the bombs from ever detonating, all while still dispensing justice. A supposed 75,000 people reside in Peachtree's megastructure alone. Even if Dredd was able to visually identify the transmitter's make and model on Mama's wrist, who's to say whether or not it was upgraded, or if there's a signal booster around or something? And secondly, if a transmitter that is broadcasting the signal of a person's heartbeat, of their lifeline, is the triggering mechanism for a catastrophic explosion, and the transmitter surpasses the range of the receiver, would that not also trigger a detonation? How could Dredd have already known that the lack of a transmission is not the same message to the receiver as the confirmation of her stopped heart? Mama gets thrown to her death. The shot of her hitting the pavement in slow motion is pretty epic. Probably too gory to show here, so I won't. Very satisfying though, and existential, with space rock guitars resonating away in the background. And of course, Dredd was right about the transmitter. It goes red, attempting to trigger the receiver, but it's futile. The story finishes on a bright note. Anderson took a less than fatal gunshot wound earlier, so Dredd's patching her up on the way down the elevator and to their relief. These are either looks of gratitude, or do I detect a hint of romance? I don't know, I'm probably just making that up. The thing is, the rookies kind of had like the same expression throughout the whole movie. She's a rookie, she's new, and she's been in shock most of the movie, so her expressions are not very versatile though. The blast doors finally open and the sunrise beams into their eyes. Some real backup awaits them on the other side. It only took them a whole day to get there. Thanks for nothing. Despite Anderson failing her assessment on technicalities, Dredd gives her a pass anyways, cause she earned it. The end. Now, I know I've done a lot of bitching, but I want to reiterate that I love this movie. The world building was really well done. They make each of the judges look and feel like a one-man army, and their presence seems so complete when they're operating alone. This is one of the only movies I've ever seen deliberately use visual noise to complete the aesthetic. It worked great in my opinion. The soundtrack is perfect. It's one of those that you almost wonder if the movie was made for the sake of playing the soundtrack. My gripes are all plot related. I mean, what a tally. It's time to rate the suck of this movie on my suckometer. The higher the score, the more it sucks. We've got enough plot holes here to compete with a well-aged Swiss cheese. And there really isn't any sex scenes or sensuality. Besides like a 2-second flash of an abstract fantasy, that doesn't count. A bad plot and no sex scenes? Oof. That's detrimental to the score. But its saving graces are excellent soundtrack, Karl Urban, and great action sequences. If you can turn your brain off for a while, you'll love this flick. And it has a lot of payoff moments. So I'll give it a 5. Cause it's definitely better than most B movies, but the negligent writing, it must be judged. Well, that concludes my wrathful review. Remember, this is our sanctuary. And if you like my channel, don't tell anyone about it. That's right. Keep it a secret. If you don't, well, you know, you're gonna be in big trouble, and I'm gonna get ya. Probably while you're sleeping, because it's usually less of a fight that way, and I'm not a particularly formidable opponent, so it puts the odds in my favor. Windows are my main entry point. I'm usually not cordially invited through doorways, unless of course I disguise myself as a plumber or a meter man. Never done that before. Little known fact, meter men are usually vampires. The perimeter they create while encircling your living space is a part of a dominance ritual, and once completed, they've claimed the energetic rights to your domicile. This all occurs in the spiritual realm, of course, so it's difficult to understand for a young, naive, stupid human. But basically, it's like a meta dog is taking a meta piss on your meta vicinity while you're meta unaware. If this information makes you feel uneasy, then I've fulfilled my purpose. If it made you comfortable, however, or aroused even, then you should get a hold of my contact info. We have work to do.
I drank too much again. I drank too much again. Slept on the floor, soiled my drawers and blamed it on the jam. I drank too much again. I drank too much again. I got in a rut, but then I forgot and blamed it on the jam. They threw me out.